Good morning, students, and welcome to your SST class. Today we are starting with chapter number 6, political parties. Now, students, we are living in a democratic country, and when we talk of democracy, we know that it is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Now, how it is of the people or by the people, then we know that we vote for the candidates during the elections. Now, how we go to vote? When we go for voting, we select a candidate or decide about a candidate according to the ideology which we relate ourselves to. And this ideology is given to us by the political party. So we are going to do this chapter, political parties. There may be a single party in a country, there may be multi-party system in a country, plenty of parties may be there. So we'll see why political parties are important in a democracy. So let's start this chapter. I'll read and explain and then I'll give you the notes. So the first topic that we are going to take is why do we need political parties? Now imagine you go to the remotest part of our country. You go and ask who is the PM or who is the CM of that state. People may not be knowing. But you take the name of a political party of that area, they might be knowing about that party. So political party has its reach to the remotest part of the country. So that is why it is the most important or visible institution in a democracy. Whenever we talk about democracy, we suddenly visualize political parties and we know that so many political parties are there. So how these political parties came into being or why we need these political parties, that is what we are going to learn in this chapter. Political parties are easily one of the most visible institutions in a democracy. For most ordinary citizens, democracy is equal to political parties. If you travel to remote parts of our country and speak to the less educated citizens, you could come across people who may not know anything about our constitution or about the nature of our government. Very true. You go and ask what type of government is there in our country, who is the PM, who is the CM, they won't be knowing. But there are chances that they would know something about our political parties. At the same time, this visibility does not mean popularity. It doesn't mean that they know about this party, so political parties are very popular. No. If there is something wrong, then people may criticize also. So political parties may have to face criticism also. Most people tend to be very critical of the political parties. They tend to blame parties for all that is wrong within our democracy. Whenever there is any problem, what happens? We also blame, this party is ruling, their policy is not good, and that is why we are having so many problems. So we tend to blame the political parties for whatever is going on in our country, if it is a problematic situation. Parties have become identified with social and political divisions, and political parties actually divide. We can say they divide the country on the basis of society. You know that different castes, they support this party, that party. So that way, the society is divided, as well as because of politics, there are political division. Because of parties, I support this party, he supports that party. So this political division is there in the country. So then we can say, if political parties are causing division, then what is the need of political parties in a country? Why we need them? So let's see. If we go back to history, we go back hundreds of years, then what happens? We see that there were not many political parties or there were no political parties, but today most of the countries are democracies, and we know that in almost all the countries there are political parties also. So that means there must be some reason that political parties are needed. Alright, they are very important for a democracy. That is what we are going to understand in this chapter. Now, what is a political party? A political party is a group of people who come together, people who have some same ideology, they want to work on the same principles. They come together and then they wish to hold the power by winning elections. And they want to form a government because they want to implement their policies, their ideologies in that country. So such a group of people is known as political party. They agree on some policies and programs for the society with a view to promote collective good. And these policies are not made to destroy someone or do bad to someone, but for the collective good, the good of the country, the good of the people. Since there can be different views on what is good to all, parties try to persuade people why their policies are better than the other. Now this is where different type of political parties come into being. Because according to me, what is good for me may not be good for you. Or what is good for you may not be good for the next person. We have our own thinking. We have our own principles and ideologies. So the same way with different viewpoints, different principles, different ideologies, different political parties come into being. They seek to implement these policies by winning popular support through elections. Thus, parties reflect fundamental political division in a society. Parties are part of the society and thus involve partisanship. That is, they are dividing the society. Some people supporting this party, some people supporting this party. So a division is there, and that division is the partisanship. Alright, we like this party or we like the principles of this party, so we are strong supporters of that party only. The other person may not be liking this, he may like some other party, so he will support that party. So that is the feeling of partisanship that will be there. So a party is known by which part or what principle it stands for, and that way the people who support that party also stand for those principles of the party which they like. Now, a political party, just you write a name and party is not there. For a political party, you require three components. And what are these three components? Leaders, then you have active members, and then you have followers. Leaders who sit on the top, who hold the top position, they formulate the principles, they formulate the policies. Alright. Then you have the active members. The members who are actively participating in the different activities of the party, who go to the people, tell the people about the policies and principles of the party, make the party known to the people. And then you have followers. Followers are people like us. We follow this party because we like what this party stands for. We like the principles that this party is upholding. So that is why we follow this party. So we become the followers. So a political party, if it is a political party, it will have leaders, it will have active members, and there will be followers to that party. Now, political parties are there. You have seen what is a political party, the components of the political party. Now, what is the function of the political party? When we were learning about reading about the definition of political party, one thing which I told you is that people who have the same policy, same ideology, principles, they come together and they want to win elections and then they implement their policies. So political parties are basically formed to contest elections and then form government. Because a political party, after forming a government, only it is able to implement the policies which it wants to in that country. What does a political party do? Basically, political parties fill political offices and exercise political power. PM office is there, CM's office is there, so many other ministers are there, they have their own powers. To bring people to these positions, you require political parties, then only elections can be held. Parties do so by performing a series of functions. So now we have a list of the functions that political parties do. Let's see. Parties contest elections. I told you, the first thing is that they want to reach out to the people, they want people to understand their policies, their principles, and then during the election, they want to win the support of the people. Once they get the support of the people, then only they will be able to form their government. So this is very important for political parties, that they contest elections. And in most democracies, elections are fought mainly among the candidates put up by the political parties. Mainly political parties put up the candidates. We have independent candidates also in our country, alright, by their own. They don't take support of any political party. By their own, they can contest the election. But most of the countries, it happens that political parties put up the candidates for the election. The second function is parties put forward different policies and programs and the voters choose from them. One party is there, it comes up with its programs. Suppose we win, we form the government, then these are the things that we will do for this country. The other party will come up with its programs, that we are going to do this for the country. Like this, as many parties are there, they bring up their programs and policies. It is for us voters to decide which party we want to go with, which party we want to select. That is our duty. Alright, they have put forth their policies, their programs. Now we want to know, or we should understand what we want to choose. So people get a choice according to the policies and programs that are brought in front of the public. And as we all have different opinions on a particular point, the same way parties will have different opinions of ruling the country or forming the government, or how they want to make the policies, or what they want to do for the poor, what they want to do for the business class, what they want to do for the scheduled caste. For all this, all the parties have different policies. They put forth these policies in front of the people, and the people then have to decide whom they want to support. So they get a choice. The third is parties play a decisive role in making laws. These representatives whom we choose and send to the parliament, they make the laws there. They sit, discuss and decide about the different laws which are to be implemented in the country. So very important. According to the law, only if a country runs, then only the country will be a peaceful country. So they formulate or decide on important laws that should be implemented in the country. Parties form and run government. Suppose I am an independent candidate, I contested from my constituency. Constituency is the area from where I am contesting the election. Another person, another independent, we don't know one another, our policies don't match, alright, nothing. But he stood for the election there, he also won, some third person from somewhere else. Now, if these type of people who have different ideologies, different principles, different policies, they win from different areas, then how are they going to come together and form a government? Not possible. When their policies don't match, how will they come together and form a government? Then there will be a fight. I want to become the PM, I want to become this, I want to become that. There will be a fight. So that is why political parties, when a political party wins an election, according to the number of seats it wins, it is written in the constitution that the party which gets the majority seats form the government. Now here what is happening? Whichever party gets the majority of seats, that means the majority of people are following those policies or those programs which that party had put forward in front of the public. And then they have a straightforward approach to what they have to do. They know everything is there in front of them, that before the elections we had put forward these policies and now people have supported us, so we have to do this. So they are very clear what they have to do, how they have to run the government. Those parties that lose the elections play the role of opposition. Now all the parties don't win in an election. One party forms the government, the other parties sit in opposition. The duty of the opposition party is to keep a check on the government. The government may be bringing many policies. So the opposition parties, they may criticize the government, they bring about the drawbacks in that policy and let the people know about it. All this they do. So a strong opposition is also very important in a democratic country. Parties shape public opinion. Whatever or which party we want to support, how we support, after we listen to the different programs and policies of the party, the speeches of the leaders, and as they speak, as they bring things before us, we make up our mindset. Acha, he is saying this, that person is saying that. Then we decide, we make up a mindset, and according to that, we decide what type of government we want or which candidate we want. So that is the public opinion. Through their policies, their programs, they have made the people understand it, and people are supporting them. Parties provide people access to government machinery and welfare schemes. Parties, they win election, they form government, plenty of government programs are there for the weaker section, for the scheduled caste, for women. Like there's so many welfare programs are there, welfare schemes are there. Now if you go to a government office and try to get your work done, it is a very difficult thing, isn't it? But for the same work, if you approach a political leader, a member of the party, alright, then what happens? It is much easier for you to access that person. So the political party makes it easy for the public to know about the welfare schemes and to enjoy the benefits of the welfare scheme that the government has proposed. So these are some functions of the political party. So now we'll stop here and I'll make you write the notes for this. So in your copy you put the heading political parties, that is the name of your chapter. And the first topic is, why do we need political parties? In a democracy, political parties are the visible institutions. The less educated citizens or those in the remote areas of our country may not be knowing anything about our constitution, CM or PM, but there are chances that they may be knowing about a political party, maybe a local party. Put the next heading, meaning of political party. A political party is a group of people who come together to contest elections and hold power in the government. Full stop. They agree on some policies and programs for the society with a view to promote collective good, the good of everyone, collective good, not for one person. They wish to implement these policies by winning the support of the people. Parties reflect fundamental political divisions in a society. It leads to partisanship. Thus, a party is known by which part it stands for, or which policies it supports, and whose interests it upholds. That is, which section of the society they are supporting the most. Leave one line and then you write, a political party has three components. First is, put number one, the leaders. Number two, the active members. Number three, the followers. Okay, write the next topic. Functions of political parties. Political parties fill political offices and exercise political power. Full stop. Parties do so by performing a series of functions mentioned below. After this, you will write in points. First point, parties contest elections. Next point, parties put forward different policies and programs and the voters choose from them. Third point, parties play a decisive role in making laws for a country. Fourth point, parties form and run governments. Next point, those parties that lose in the elections play the role of the opposition by voicing different views and criticizing the government for its failures or wrong policies. Next point, parties raise and highlight various issues parties raise and highlight various issues, full stop. Thus, parties shape public opinion. Next point, parties provide people access to government machinery, and welfare schemes implemented by the governments. So all the important points are there in the notes which I have provided to you. Go through them, and still if you have any doubt, you can put up during the doubt class. So we'll stop for today. Take care.